Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So great news over the last 24 hours for silver stackers. And by that, I mean people who save in silver, not people who speculate in the price of silver. Of course, we've seen a huge drop in the paper price, but I think it's like anything else. If you see a drop in the price of something that you really want to buy, it's great news. Yes, for those who are speculating in the price, who are buying ETFs to speculate, not really holding real physical silver. Yes, they probably had a bad day. For those who leverage in the futures market as well, they've been taken out by the big boys. Of course, they painted the tape. They wanted to see silver come down. Of course, silver was looking very good, and they took the advantage of a falling stock market as an excuse to slam silver, paper silver that is. If you call your bullion dealer anywhere in the world and ask them, were there a lot of people selling silver yesterday, physical coins or bars? And he'll probably tell you no. If anything, he or she will tell you that people are still buying physical. So I'm going to take the opportunity, hopefully in the next few days, to buy a little more silver. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a really lower price than before yesterday. We'll have to see. So yeah, the technical picture doesn't look great right now in silver. We're trading around 24, just above 24. We've even traded below 24 overnight. So the chart doesn't look good, I have to admit. But if we look at the monthly chart, that was the weekly chart there. The monthly chart, yeah, it doesn't look very good, but silver could turn around very quickly. Gold's still holding around 1900. So yes, I've been in this game since 2002, accumulating or stacking silver. And I know how frustrating it is, but you just have to sit through the pain. And you have to not forget that the fundamentals for the monetary metals are still really good. I always tell people, what's the alternative to getting rid of your silver or maybe some of your gold that you have stacked over the years? The alternative, of course, is putting your hard-earned savings with the banks. Banks whose stocks are making like 10, 12-year lows right now. Banks that we are seeing being forced kind of or encouraged by government to lend to companies that we don't know whether they're going to be in business in a few months. And by that, I mean this UK lending scheme that's supposed to be government guaranteed, right? But they're making the banks here, giving them like a push to lend to businesses that don't know, frankly, what's going to happen. We've just seen that they're going to impose curfews here in the UK. You're going to have to be at home from 10 o'clock at night. It's just ridiculous, but that's the way it's going to be. It's going to hurt businesses even more, businesses like restaurants, like cinemas. If any of you go to the cinemas still, I haven't been in years, but theaters, all the, you know, the hospitality businesses as well. It's going to really put a nail in the coffin. The other point I would make, when you put money in the bank, it's an unsecured loan to the bank. It's not yours anymore, legally here in the UK and even in the US. And we got to take a step back and put things into perspective. Silver started the year just around $18, and right now we're at 24. So that's a 33% increase. Where could we go here if you care about the price, the paper price? Well, I think there is some support around 22.50. That's where I could see silver holding. There's a trend line coming from the low in March that comes around that level. But Yeah, gold has actually held really well. We traded below 1900 yesterday, but we didn't go below the 1860 low that we saw recently when we had a correction a few weeks ago in gold, or almost a couple of months now. And as you can see as well, Billy is not concerned about the silver move. He's looking to get a little bit of silver as well. So let's look at where the markets are this morning. Of course, yesterday, the stock markets had a rough day. Of course, they did rebound towards the end of the day. So the Dow finished down 509 or 1.8%. S&P finished down 1.16% or 38 points. And the NASDAQ almost finished unchanged. It finished down only 14 points. Yes, there was news yesterday about this BuzzFeed story where they brought out all these documents. They published documents about how the big international banks have been aiding and abetting money launderers for years. Will that be a big thing, seeing that the big banks run everything? We'll see. I don't know. Are there good guys out there in the deep state who are going to go after the big banks and take Jamie Dimon on a perp walk, or other bankers on a perp walk? I'm not too convinced. As I've said before, the bankers, these big banks, are protected. They are considered too big to fail. And the BIS in Basel gives them immunity, all these bankers. Yes, they've put someone in jail, I think, from JP Morgan for spoofing the gold market. But that's small fish. They do that to pretend they're doing something. But if they really wanted to go after the big bankers, you'd see CEOs being arrested. You wouldn't see the former CEO of HSBC, who's now called a lord. Yeah, he was made a lord after they found out that HSBC had been money laundering. And he was made a member of the UK government, the David Cameron government. So that's what they do with bankers. So yeah, the bank stocks went down a lot, but I think it's more to do with the fact that the economies are keeling over. Things are not getting better. And as I've said, they probably want to flush things down. And it's going to continue, unfortunately. So right now it's 8:30 a.m. London. We've got the Dow down about 80 points at 27,068. That's about 1/4%. S&P is at 3270, down 10 points, just under a third. And the NASDAQ 100 futures down 44 or 0.4%, just below 11,000. We've got gold at 1902, that's down 10. It's been as low as 1898 and as high as 1920. 1920 is going to be a key level now. That's the old all-time high. Silver is at 2405, down 65. Yes, that's the thing with silver. You really need to hold on to that bull. And as I've said before, if you're stacking, you shouldn't be worried. It's down 2.4%. The high's been 25.26 overnight, and the low 23.92. The currencies are continuing to weaken versus the dollar here. Does this mean the dollar is back? No, as I've said before, the fiat currencies are just going to fluctuate against each other. They're going to sink faster at some junctures. They're going to rise faster versus the dollar at some point and sink faster. I mean, we've seen the pound get down to like 114 back in March. We're still at 127.50. Yeah, we're down from 135 a few weeks ago. So the pound right now is down 60 pips or 0.5% at 127.55. The euro is down a third at 117.35. The dollar is unchanged versus the yen at 104.62. And the dollar's strengthened a little bit against the yuan over the last day or two. It's at 679.50. WTI crude is up 0.4% at 39.68. The bond market still very quiet. 10-year yield is at 0.66, so down about 1 basis point. So not moving that much. The 2-year note yield is at 0.14. So I'm not really seeing that much move in the bond markets. So there you go. Yeah, it is tough being in the precious metal space. But I always think on days like we've had the last 24 hours, what's the alternative to it, right? And especially now where you get nothing in the bank. When you put your money in the bank, there's no interest. And we saw yesterday as well that the UK government has pre-announced the slashing of interest rates almost to zero for their National Savings and Investment Bank that is guaranteed by the Treasury. I think, as I said yesterday, that is trying to encourage people to put money with them because they're cash strapped, and also they don't want people in gold and silver. You can bet that they don't want you to stack, because that means you're getting out of their system. They can't tax you. They can't track you. How are they going to come in your house and find one of these silver coins, right? It's very difficult. But when you leave it in the bank, especially if the banks get nationalized, then you're banking with the government. Do you really want to do that? So there you go. That's how I see things. Yeah, it's not nice to see these big moves in the precious metals, especially silver. But if anything, it's an opportunity. It's like you wanted to buy something that you really liked, but the price was too high, and then they drop the price. Well, you go and buy it, right? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button. Please share it far and wide. Think about subscribing to the channel if you haven't yet. And you can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and all these other platforms below here. I wish you all a great day. Take care. Bye.